Good evening, Belize, and welcome to XTV's news broadcast for Monday, January 27, 2025. Making the headlines tonight, BNTU to hold Belmopan rally for launch of, quote, No Teacher Left Behind initiative. Mother says son was shot to stomach. Police say he was shot to the leg. And Belize City shooting leaves a man dead and woman critically injured. We take our first break and return with the news in detail.
You connected, we've got you covered. Smart, bringing people together.
Welcome back. With your news, I am Drea Espinosa. Following an extended meeting with officials from different arms of government on Thursday, January 23rd, the Ministry of Education, the Belize National Teachers Union, BNTU, and the chair and president of the managing authorities of pre-primary, primary, and secondary schools signed a joint document. Among other things, it outlined the ministry's commitment to address challenges faced by teachers regarding the payment of salaries, allowances, and increments, as well as the hiring of teachers and professional development. In her report back Saturday to the union's membership about the meeting, National President Nadia Martin-Kaliz commented on some of the points in the agreement.
That was a very productive meeting. The BNTU stands behind its decision to sign that document. You gave us the mandate to challenge the powers that be, and we did. You asked us to make certain that systemic changes were made, or steps towards systemic changes were made, and that was done. We were also able to alleviate for some of you the supervisions that you're going through. What do I mean by that? In areas of TVET and VOTEC, where schools are struggling to find teachers, with the new agreement, individuals who work for certain businesses and have that skill set can now come in as part-time teachers to teach only that subject and then exit. That minimizes the amount of supervision that you have to do. A number of you are trying to complete your education. You don't have the finances. Some of you have to meet the pending minimum requirement of a bachelor's degree. So the 11 new scholarships that were awarded to the BNTU, the council embraced that. We also have the opportunity to recommend students from our junior colleges and high schools who want to pursue primary education or secondary education, recommend them to the ministry. That we are also proud of. When I say the council stands behind the agreement, we stand behind that.
However, Martin-Kaliz also reported that after a meeting of their Council of Management, the union branches decided that the union will launch a, quote, no teacher left behind watch. According to Martin-Kaliz, their records show that 658 teachers have not received their increments for 2 years. Therefore, to bring attention to their continued plight in this regard, teachers will gather in Belmopan for a rally on Friday, February 7 to launch the platform.
The other part is this. We strongly believe that no teacher should be left behind. Absolutely none. Our data is showing that 658 teachers have not received their increment between 2023, which is a 2022-2023, and 2023-2024. That is a significant number. And not because majority received, we're going to ignore the fact that these teachers need us. The council voted for us to start the no teacher left behind watch. That means we're going to put up that number of 658. And each time that a teacher on that list receives his or her increment, salary upgrade, we're going to reduce the number because we're going to keep watch over it. The council voted for us to meet in Belmopan on the 7th of February to launch the platform that you all voted for. You voted for us to register how we feel about some of us not getting our stuff in a timely manner. And for these persons who are waiting, the council believes we strongly needs to send a message there. And why is it that the council believes this way? Because when we look at the reasons given by educators, it is not something that sits well with us. When some of them go to management, we don't know, they're ignored, they're yelled at. They're not treated in a manner in which a teacher ought to be treated. So we cannot leave you out there. We cannot. So the movement, no teacher left behind. Make certain you put that on your wall, members. Because on the 7th we meet in Belmopan, and we'll launch a platform, as I said before. We'll have our rally, because we need to make certain that it's zero. It comes down to zero.
A Belize City shooting at around 10 p.m. Saturday off Central American Boulevard left 24-year-old Belizean fisherman Mark Waite, known as Pito, dead, and 33-year-old Francine Herbert, critically injured from multiple gunshot injuries. The two were part of a group socializing in front of a residence when an argument broke out. During the altercation, someone fired what residents reported were about a dozen shots. Police have detained a 22-year-old for questioning. Waite was acquitted in 2019 of the 2015 murder of Amandala journalist Kareem Clark due to lack of evidence. Today, ACP Gilberto Romero shared what police investigations have revealed thus far.
On Saturday, the 25th day of January 2025, police responded to a shooting incident at Central American Boulevard in Belize City. Upon the arrival, they saw the lifeless body of Mark Witt, and information received that a female had been taken to the KHMH for treatment. Police visited KHMH where they found Frances Herbert with gunshot injuries. She remains there in a critical condition. The body of Mark Witt was taken to the KHMH where he was pronounced dead on arrival. Investigations that Mark Witt and others were socializing at a yard when there was an argument. Thereafter, somebody pulled out a firearm and fired several shots towards his direction, causing the injuries to him and to Francis Herbert. We have one suspect in custody, and the investigation continues at this time.
What's the relation between Herbert and Lee?
I am not aware if they have any relation. We know that they were all hanging out at this yard at CA Boulevard.
And with and the person detained, what's the relation?
I'm not aware of any relation if they have any.
But they were the ones having the dispute.
Yes, they were the ones having the dispute.
Can you tell us what the motive of this? I mean, aside from having a dispute, what was the dispute?
That is all we have uncovered at this time, that they had some dispute and somebody pulled out a firearm.
Tonight, there are disputed versions of a police-involved shooting down south. Marlene Rivers, a nurse, told Creme News XTV that on Friday, her 24-year-old son, Emil Rivers, who is on medication due to a mental health condition, was detained by police and kept overnight in a cell. She said she would receive a call from a friend the following morning informing her that her son had been shot by police, including once each to the stomach and back. While she claims that he was brutalized before the shooting occurred, the department is disputing the family's version of events. The mother says Rivers got into an altercation with about 5 police officers the afternoon of Friday, January 24th, and was resisting arrest because they did not indicate the reason why he was being detained.
According to the police, he had a knife, so they wanted to detain him, but they were not explaining properly to him why he was supposed to be detained or whatever. They just shout orders at him, let's go it way, you have to go it way. And they claim that he resisted arrest, but who would willingly go for an arrest and you don't know why, right? Plus, he's not in his sound mind, he's mentally challenged at the moment, and with these kind of people, you really have to explain to them. From what I know, police need to tell you why they arrest you, and they need to tell you, read your rights. So you can, even for a normal person like me, so why could you just come and shout out orders after a person we don't know 100% stable, and then you just tell them, let's go, you have to go, you're under arrest. Under arrest for what, he was asking. And they didn't tell him for what. They just, 5 of them I heard, beat up him. He made a fight back as he made a try to defend himself, and they threw him at the back of the pickup and took him to the station, detained him. Police didn't give him a call so that he could call me and tell me that he's detained. He shouted out to somebody he knew that was around the area and asked the guy to tell his family that he's been detained. I have not received any call from police that your son is here. I have not received any call from police after they shot him. to tell me that he has been shot up to this minute that I'm speaking to you. My son told me that the police took his ATM card, his keys, whatever he had on him, and when he reached at the station, they took off his shirt and his pants. He was in the cell in a boxers.
She then explained what her son told her about the actual shooting.
I hear that my son said that they tell her, go, you're free, before 7 in the morning, Saturday morning. When he gone out, I know they start chasing with gun, like 5 police or 6 police, they chase him with gun. He run in our yard, that person where we know, and he may want shelter in the house, but he never get forgetting. So he gone to our next family house, because the church member and my mother, and he may just want shelter inside, but they never put him inside. So he said he find a machete there. First of all, remember he never have no machete because he come out of cell. Yeah. He find that there. And he say 5 man and they got gun. So he say a machete, so he have to try to defend himself. Remember, he know the thing straight. Now, he say he hear one in shot, but he can't let what person we know normal, right? He say he can't let go him machete because 5 man got gun, they don't let go the gun. So that is why he never heed to the warning shots, because he never think that he need to let it go, because they don't let go the gun according to him, so he can't let go him machete. This machete where he only find there. He know got no machete. He just run for them for the sale. He said they tell her go when he come out that how he get out if they not tell her go to. He can't not got key for open the cell anyway. He said one of the police tell her go, and when he go, that's how they start. The man they escape, and they try start chase him with gun. I hear 1 police beat my son with line stick. 1 police beat her with a plastic chair, broke up the plastic chair for my son. Why so much police for detain 1 slim Magali boy? Huh? Why? You got gun. He only got a machete. Shoot her in your hand, make the machete drop. Shoot her in your foot, make it stop, make it can't run. Why shoot him in your belly? Why shoot him in your back now? Somebody they escape for you. You don't they go back there towards you. Why shoot her in your back? My son is our animal. And this, I will get justice for.
Here now is ACP Gilberto Romero with the police version of events.
Emil Rivers was detained at Independence for aggravated assault after it is alleged that he had assaulted somebody with a knife. He was taken into custody, where at the station he jumped out of the back of a police vehicle where he received some injuries. He was immediately apprehended and taken to the cell where he was detained. Then on Saturday morning, while the cell was being cleaned, he ran from the police who were cleaning the cell. He went to a nearby house where it is alleged that he armed himself with a machete. The police cornered him and there was a struggle. Attempts were made to disarm him from the machete. A warning shot was fired, but that did not work. At some point then the police officer shot him to the leg. He is presently admitted in a stable condition. As in every police shooting, an investigation will be carried out by the Professional Standards Branch.
Is a particular police officer being looked at in this incident? Someone who has been involved in this kind of thing before?
Well, there are several police officers that were involved, some at the cell block and some who brought him into custody.
And we understand that his mom was turned away allegedly by police when we took him to the hospital. Is it policy that someone is well under detention, family members are not allowed access, or?
I'm not aware of that, but if he's in police custody, then at some point, yes, she can visit.
He has several injuries on him, and the allegations being made as some of those injuries, apart from the gunshots, have been inflicted by police. How do you respond?
Yeah, again, the report is that he jumped out of the back of a police vehicle. He received injuries. Thereafter, efforts were made to try and disarm him from the machete, so some force was used on him. So, again, I said an investigation will be carried out.
We have learned that among the police officers accused of shooting the 24-year-old, a police officer who was previously accused of killing a man at a police station. He was convicted of manslaughter and years later was reintegrated into the police force after being sentenced to over a decade in prison. The nurse says she plans to pursue legal action. Among the many executive orders signed by U.S. President Donald Trump on his first day in office on January 20 was one relating to foreign aid. It was ordered that, quote, no further United States foreign assistance shall be disbursed in a manner that is not fully aligned with the foreign policy of the President of the United States, end quote. As a result, a 90-day pause was ordered in U.S. foreign development assistance to allow for an assessment of all foreign aid. The order adds, quote, all department and agency heads with responsibility for United States foreign development assistance programs shall immediately pause new obligations and disbursements of development assistance funds to foreign countries and implementing non-governmental organizations, international organizations, and contractors, end quote. According to the order, after the assessment, funding can be stopped, continued, or modified. For the program to continue in the same or modified form before the end of the 90-day period, the Secretary of State or his designee must grant approval. The Secretary of State can also waive the 3-month pause for specific programs. In the wake of the executive order, the Love Foundation reported that on Friday they were instructed that all CARSI-funded projects must cease all work immediately. The notice they received states that, quote, no further funding will be obligated for CARSI ESF grants until they have been reviewed and approved, end quote. They note that this development can impact the employment of dozens of workers. Apart from the Love Foundation, Galen University, RET International, UNDP Belize, and PEDAL are among the most recent CARSI ESF grantees. CARSI stands for the Central American Regional Security Initiative. After the break, Senator Montejo's vehicle damaged in Balama. Stay with us. During an early morning shooting in the Riverside area of Balama Phase 2 in Belize City, Saturday, the residence of a tenant and the vehicle of Senator Colette Montejo, another tenant, received damages. The retired landlord told police that a tenant reported hearing gunshots, and when she made checks, she realized there was a bullet hole in the back door and another in her refrigerator. Meanwhile, Montejo shared that when he made checks after hearing the gunshots, he saw that his Chevy Colorado had a bullet hole to the tailgate and another to the left side. Fortunately, no one was injured. Police recovered 8 expended shells. The body of a man was found early this morning in the Kings Park area of Belize City at the corner of 3rd and Landover Streets. The man has been identified as 58-year-old Patrick Christie. The cause of his death is not yet known, but family and friends believe he may have drowned in the drain outside his home. Surveillance camera footage from a neighbor showed Christie tripped and fell on the side of the street. He had fallen before, but friends aren't entirely sure if he had any medical condition other than bad knees. After the death of his mother, Christie lived alone in the house with his 2 dogs. Josh Sosa, who was like family to Christie, said he was happy when they last saw him the night before and said his passing is a great loss to the community.
He was happy, like every day, spending some time with friends and myself at the restaurant, and just having chats, laughing and smiling. And then at the end, we would close off, and he just came home. As you could see, the vehicle is perfectly parked. And that's when it happened. Like sometime last night after 1 in the morning. Apparently, from the footage given by a good friend as well, the neighbor here across the street, and it seems that he tripped and fell on the drain. But we speculate that he must have some sort of seizure or something that forbade him to come out of the drain. So like I said, I know the first time he dropped in the drain, so before he could come out. So what happened this time that he couldn't come out. So eventually, I guess he must have drowned. We know he had some bad knee and 2 bad foot, and he would just drop, and just later in the day would tell me, Josh, I dropped into the drain again, or any story. But he came out of the drain, right? Because he was there, and this time that's why again we speculate something must catch. We don't know. We just have to wait for medic say what happened, no, what actually catching. He could perfectly be the mayor of Belize. Everybody know. He would be friends with everybody. He had everybody friend. And you see, like I said, I used to offer things and say, no, Josh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Patrick, this is me. It's Patrick. I had to do it. Don't worry about it. You go do your thing. That the way he carry out himself. Always giving, always open, always listening, always watching. So we actually lose a valuable element of the neighborhood watch. Well, and a neighbor and a friend, everything, no. Although he never had kids, well, a lot of people will feel the loss.
Last week, the Belize Agricultural Health Authority, BAHA, was following up on 2 more suspected cases of the New World screwworm in San Pedro, Colombia, in the Toledo district. Agriculture CEO Servulo Baeza said they suspect that rat bats may be contributing to the propagation of the disease caused by the NWS fly, as they cause bites on dogs. So far, 1 dog has been confirmed to have had the disease. By way of an update, Baeza reported that 1 additional case was detected at the farm in Crique Sarco, where the index case was reported, and the remainder are from the farm in San Pedro, Colombia. He revealed that they have undertaken a bat eradication program as one of their control measures of the NWS screwworm. They also established a control point at Bella Vista to inspect all cattle leaving Toledo to ensure each animal is screwworm free.
There are other areas in the Toledo district that are more have other challenges, no? I mean, for instance, in one of the farms where we have found 2 of the cases, I mean, the owner, the farmer himself, is not a full-time farmer. He has a job, and so he goes to work, and then on the weekends when he comes home, he tends to his animals. So you can see the difference, no? As opposed to you will be taking care of your animals every single day, making sure, checking to see if any wounds is present or whatever. Another issue that we're having that is to a certain extent making the problem even greater is the issue of rat bats, vampire bats. There seems to be to some extent a large population of vampire bats affecting the area, and so the vampire bat comes and bites the animal and creates a wound, and that creates the opportunity for the fly to come and lay its egg, no? I believe two I believe of the cases are from vampire. We suspect that it's highly that it is from vampire bat wounds, no? So we have already started now a program for control of vampire bats now, because we know that can only make the problem even worse. So we've already had a training. We already did some vampire bat trappings last week. No, early this week, early this week, where some vampire bats were caught and they were pasted with the poison for them. Well, that's what is basically done for them to go back to the colony, and that reduces the number then of vampire bats.
The road to Guinea Grass, which connects that community to the Philip Golson Highway at Tower Hill, just outside Orange Walk Town, is currently being paved. The residents of Guinea Grass have long called for this upgrade. This past weekend, the leadership of Shipyard invited government officials, including the Prime Minister, to lobby for that road paving project to be extended roughly 2 miles to the entrance of Shipyard. Prime Minister Honorable John Briceño said that they have agreed in principle.
Yo, the Drea now, we okay? The Drea? Okay.
Okay, good morning, PM. Can you tell us a bit about the significance of what has happened here today, a meeting in Shipyard that has never been held before?
Well, certainly, I think it's history in the making. And Shipyard has grown tremendously over the past 4 years, and certainly thanks to the leadership that Abby has provided, not only as the representative, but also as the Minister of Agriculture, and of course, along with the work that we have been doing. And it was important for me to be able to come here, to be able to speak to them, and to point out that, to tell them thank you for the work, encourage them to continue, and to tell them that we have a government that continues to support them. I want to continue to work with them even closer. I know that the road to Guinea Grass has always been a major issue for the representative, for Abby, but also for the people from Shipyard, because they are the one that traverses roads every day, especially with the amount of produce that they have and the products that they have. So it was important for us to be able to get this done. And I know the cynics will tell you, oh, you're doing it just before the elections. Well, it's not necessarily true, because we could not have done it earlier because we did not have the money. We had to wait to be able to grow the economy, to be able to pay off some of the debt, to be able to could collect more taxes so that we could do all of this work. Today, they made an ask.
Area Representative of Orange Walk South, Honorable Jose Mai, spoke of why it would benefit the community and the nation to have easier road access to Shipyard.
The residents of Shipyard put forward a petition to the Prime Minister. It's like 1 point something miles, I think. Just an extension of what is being paved right now. The Prime Minister told him that we will review it, and if it's possible, we have to make some kind of arrangements, because he cannot commit without having the available resources. But it is a reasonable request, I believe. It will benefit the area a lot. I think yesterday they have a survey they did, which says that more than 1,400 vehicles came into Shipyard yesterday, some from Belize City, as far as Cayo, 50 vehicles from Cayo, some from Orange Walk, Corozal, all over Belize City. So they do their survey, and it is a fact that Shipyard is growing. It supplies many products, agricultural products, animal feed, mechanical services, auto parts, and so it's a growing community, and many people visit Shipyard. So it is justifiable, but the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance are here, and they decide what will happen next. But I do believe that they have looked at it favorably, and they need to look at the numbers closely to see how they want to do it.
At the shipyard event, Prime Minister Honorable John Briceño had said the timing of the meeting coincided with when funds were available for the project, which has not yet been approved, and not due to the upcoming general elections. Area Representative for Orange Walk South, Honorable Hosemai, said that the Constitution of Belize does not force anyone to vote if it goes against their religious or cultural beliefs, and that their visit to Shipyard was not to pressure the Mennonites to vote.
Our Constitution is very clear. It says that we respect, everybody has a right to choose their party color, their religion, their tradition, their culture. And so I emphasize to them that we are not here to force anybody to vote. We ask them to vote if they are willing to vote. But if those who do not want to vote, we respect their views too. But I think for the large part, those who are registered to vote will vote for the government today. They are very happy with what the government is doing. They said it clearly. You sense the feeling. They are happy what the government is doing. They are satisfied that we've moved the country from where it was in 2020 to where it is today, and they want to continue supporting this government. So I think that by and large, they are supporting the current government today.
After the break, Canadian heading for Belize in stolen skiff detained by Mexican authorities. Stay tuned. Mexican media are reporting that a Canadian national whose identity has not yet been revealed was detained by Mexican authorities as he was heading in the direction of Belize in a small stolen skiff on Sunday. According to the media reports, the vessel was stolen from a wharf for fishers at the Chetumal Bay. The Canadian was chased for several minutes by elements of the Mexican Navy, and when he realized he was surrounded, he jumped into the water and was subsequently detained. He was then handed over to police. A couple weeks ago, the Belize Tourism Board announced that the country had set a record in 2024 for overnight tourist visitors into the country. In 2024, Belize welcomed 562,405 overnight visitors, which represents an 11.8% increase over 2019, which was the previous high. On Saturday, Minister of Tourism Honorable Anthony Mahler expressed his sentiments that Belize has yet to come close to its true potential as a tourist destination.
2024 was a banner year for tourism in Belize. Belize is one of the leading destinations in tourism in terms of its growth. In 2023, we saw about 464,000 in arrivals. In 2024, that number grew by almost 100,000, and we surpassed the 2019 figure of 502,000 with 562,000. So over 2019, which was a benchmark year, we did almost 60,000 or 60,000 more in arrivals. Like I've said to the technocrats within the Ministry of Tourism and Diaspora Relations, I still believe that we're not living up to our true potential in terms of tourism. There needs to be more infrastructure that goes into the communities, more roads, more bridges, more environments like this, more SOA system, more garbage control, more safety protocols that need to be put in place. And lastly, we have to raise the level of service that we offer our guests.
The El Cayo Boardwalk project that was initiated in February 2024 ahead of the municipal elections by the Belize Tourism Board in collaboration with Area Representative Orlando Habet has now been inaugurated near the Macal River in downtown San Ignacio. The project consists of a riverside walkway with gazebos and benches. During the inauguration ceremony on Saturday, Minister of Tourism Honorable Anthony Mahler said he believes the area has the potential to be a top tourist destination and that the current project is simply phase one of a bigger version.
This entire area, I think, has great potential in being more of a tourism destination or a tourist destination. We started the project over here, over the other side of the river, and we've completed this part. This is phase one. I've been speaking to the minister about extending the boardwalk, whichever location, with consultation with the town council and other experts. So that's critical. And I truly believe that the entire Cayo district can be more of a tourism destination in terms of the overall tourism product that we have to offer. San Pedro is the biggest right now, Kikaker, Placencia, and Cayo district. I truly believe that the Mountain Pine Ridge area has great potential to do more. We can do more up in that part and other parts of the district.
The project proceeded despite complaints from San Ignacio Mayor Earl Trapp Jr. that the council had not been consulted beforehand to decide on a management plan and address safety concerns. That's because the property is managed by the council. Cayo Northeast Area Representative Honorable Orlando Habet touched on the topic and boasted how the boardwalk survived the recent floods.
There were some naysayers saying that the boardwalk will not withstand the flooding. And I think that even what I saw on Facebook, there were some people even praying that the boardwalk would be taken away during the floods. And as Councillor Mai said, this boardwalk has withstood the second largest flooding event in the last 15 years, just about 2 months ago. These little kiosks, at least 10 feet below water. Mr. Morris and myself and a few others came and we opened the windows so that the water could flow through, so that you can create less pressure. And after the flood was gone, we came back and we washed up and cleaned up. Here we are today. It is still here, and I believe that what we have to do is to come together as a community. We have to have strength in numbers, certainly, and the consultation process has to occur, and that is true. But I think that the mayor has to also be truthful, because we have pictures and videos with the mayor here, with Mr. Juan Polanco, who was here also, taking pictures, and we did the consultation, and he agreed in our constructing this boardwalk.
And the Institute of Archaeology under the National Institute of Culture and History on January 24th launched a new online ticketing platform. Niche promises those visiting archaeological reserves a user-friendly experience for visitors, tour guides, and operators to easily purchase entrance tickets. The platform is available 24/7 and tickets can be purchased months in advance. Buyers will receive electronic tickets sent directly to their email inbox and downloadable QR codes. The site can be accessed not only via computers but also using cell phones and tablets. For more information, you can visit www.nichebelize.org/site tickets. And with that, we have come to the end of our newscast. A repeat can be viewed on this station later tonight at 9 and again tomorrow at midday. Join us again tomorrow for another news broadcast. I am Drea Espinosa. Have a safe and enjoyable evening.